she tells us that her recent courtroom testimony was the direct result of a money deal she made with 2 homicide detectives.
And then she told me that even if they convicted her on the Hinman murder, which they didn't know about the Tate or LaBianca murders at the time, that Charlie would be out soon because he was just being held in jail on a grand theft auto charge, and that he and other members of the family were just going to get into their bus and go all the way across the country and just keep hitting different houses, any house at random, any house that looked good to them, secluded or whatever, and slaughter all the pigs in it. That's the way she said it.
You have a deal with the cops about your $25,000 reward. Go ahead and talk.
They promised me that they get my parole cut off, and once I told the police about this, I had a few more years added on to my parole instead of it being cut off. Whereas, a murderer like Linda Kasabian, she gets immunity, and she was just as guilty as the rest. Because Sadie told me that everyone that left that ranch knew when they left the ranch that they were out to slaughter some pigs that night, and anyone in that house on Cedar Drive was going to die that night, no matter who was there or how many. They were all going to die, and Linda Kasabian was with them, and she is one of those that have been granted immunity, and here I am. I tell the police, and I get a few more years added on to my parole for it. And then the parole department said, well, the police have nothing to do with making a promise to you.
What about your deal with the police, with the detectives?
About the reward money?
Yes. You
Right.
had a deal with police detectives. What?
Mm-hmm. If I was to tell them about the murders and the names and everything.
But you were supposed to give part of the reward to somebody.
Oh, about the reward, that came later.
Reluctant to repeat her confession on camera, Miss Howard tells us off camera that her deal with the 2 cops was for a 50-50 split of the $25,000 reward money. Now I'm thinking, if this is all true, there could be a bad ending here. The girls will keep up their courthouse vigil. This because upcoming trials of the Hinman and Shea murders will keep Charlie, Clem, and Bruce at hand in the upstairs jail. As the story goes, Donald Shorty Shea knew too much, so Charlie had Clem and Bruce do a hack-em-up job on him. Sweet little Sadie likes to please, so when Gary Hinman cried about Charlie slicing his ear off, Miss Adkins tried to sew it back on. Tex Watson, once a hometown football hero and favorite with the girls, will be tried separately for his part in leading the Tate massacre. Thank God, Hollywood can now feel safe again, at least enough to come out in numbers. It's been hard to tell whether some celebrities were scared of the Manson family or afraid they would be found out as having partied with them, or both. The famous Beach Boys even made a recording deal with Manson, which should dispel any claims that Charlie was a failed songwriter. Now the hippie community in Topanga Canyon can also sigh in relief. Ever since Gary Hinman was found dead nearby, the wild LSD parties almost disappeared.
They've taken one man and they put him in front of you, and they put him in the newspaper every day. It's something to focus on, so that you won't notice what's going on right around you. So you won't notice that war.
Black man's gonna save this earth. They're gonna give us back exactly what we gave them. There's gonna be blood to the horses' bridle in the streets. Horses will have to wade up to their necks in blood. The Battle of Armageddon.
Look out, Elvis careful.
Everybody's gonna fight everybody.
Now Tex Watson gets to explain in court his role in the Tate massacre. Already revealed, just before the bloody rampage, he announced to the victims, "I'm here to do the devil's work." Linda Kasabian, another star witness for the prosecution, is only too happy to busy herself testifying against the others in exchange for her walking on murder charges. She drove the killers to the Tate house. The half-blind George Spahn is here to testify against his adopted Manson family in connection with the murder of his trusted ranch hand, Shorty Shea. Leo grabs Manson from one camera angle. My associate, Lawrence Merrick, made a deal with the sheriff for us to get exclusive footage, and I am positioned in the corner for a close-up headshot. Just when things seem to be settling down, on August 21st, 1971, 6 of the Manson gang are involved in a shootout with police when they attempt to rob a surplus gun store. Without the needed guns, his escape attempt is also foiled. So then Manson instructs his devoted Brenda, Squeaky, and Sandy to now show the world just how they really are.
Did I know at the time? Yeah.
How did you feel about the baby?
Not one way or the other. In other words, I knew that it was all perfect. Sure. Yes.
Why the LaBiancas? Is it because Harold True was living next door? Because you had some... You knew them?
There aren't any whys. No whys at all.
It was just simply a move.
The soul moves. The soul... why war? Why anything?
Why
Why
abortions?
birth? We are.
In other words, whatever way we move is perfect. This is the last time around.
And if you had to kill more, you'd kill more.
Whatever we have to do.
Whatever.
We leave our house open to the soul. We leave our mind open.
And you may get an impulse and go out and kill tomorrow.
If it was right.
The cards are now on the table. Apparently, the Manson gang is even more dangerous than anyone ever imagined. But these are the same kids I grew up with. I can't help but think, without the Vietnam War, would there even be a Manson family? Mary Bruner, with Gypsy and others, will go on trial for the gun store robbery gone bad. Gypsy's baby will be born in jail. Regarding the Tate massacre, a few years from now, Jacques Honduras, Sharon's personal advisor, will tell me that, just 2 nights before her murder, he warned her to leave the house on Cielo Drive, and only to return after her baby was born. Most of the rest of the story will follow him to his grave. Charlie sent word that we could film him as he revealed the faces of the devil. Now, I can almost hear him say, "You want a devil? Here, I'll give you the devil." But it's a little more relevant than that. It's as if Satan himself really has arisen from society's grave. In 1967, way before the Tate LaBianca massacre, Manson voiced his thoughts on the Vietnam War.
You dig a hole in the ground, you build up a city, and you fight a war, and you call it progress? You call it change. And it's a beautiful game, and it's a perfect game. And whoever wants to continue playing general and go around killing himself, well, my goodness, I wouldn't want to play that game myself. But if they want to play it, I love them for it. If they want to go over there and kill each other. You know, the only reason they're over there is because they want to be. They can use any excuse and they can say, but, and, maybe, but it boils down to, man, you know, just one thing. As long as there's hate in your heart, there'll be hate in the world. You can't fight for peace, and you cannot capture freedom.
I guess I know this is the last time I will see Charlie up close and personal. But I also know this story will never end. The name Charles Manson has become the American icon for evil. I am truly blessed to have experienced the wild and crazy 60s and the notorious Manson gang and lived to tell about it.
See your eyes open, sky like I've never seen before.